Hello everyone. What's your approach to learn OOPs? Just think like a software engineer. Whenever a new technology is introduced, the first question we ask is what problem was the previous technology unable to solve? Agree? Every programming language and every programming paradigm was developed to overcome the limitation of its predecessors. Correct? So, before we start learning Java and object-oriented programming, let's first understand the complete evolution of the programming. We will explore how programming began with the manual computations, moved to machine language, evolved into higher level languages, then the procedure-oriented programming, and finally, why the software industries are adopted object-oriented programming as the modern development approach. By end of this journey, you will not only understand what OOP is, but more importantly, why object-oriented programming languages become the industry standard for developing scalable, secure, maintainable, and real-world software applications. Welcome to RKodeAcademy. Let's explore the OOP in the RKode's way. See here, early computing, um around 1940s, okay, the electronic computer did not exist. The people performed calculations manually using the tools like abacus, Napier bones, slide rules, and mechanical calculators. Okay. Although these tools simplified the calculations, they still required a significant human efforts. Okay. As the volume of calculations are getting increased, this approach becomes slow, error prone, and difficult to scale. The industry later realized that faster and more reliable computing system was needed. That requirement led to the invention of the electronic computers. Okay. During 1940s to 60s, this electronic computers larger in size was made the name of ENIAC, EDVAC or UNIVAC. Okay. Here the difficulty is to understood one the machines able to understood only binary instructions consisting zeros and ones. So the human must know or learn those languages in order to communicate with the machine. This made programming extremely difficult. Programmers had to understand the computer's hardware architecture first, then write the small applications. Even small applications require thousands of binary instructions, like the instructions we have to write. Okay. The software become larger, maintaining the machine language program becomes almost impossible. The industry needed a programming language that human could understand more easily. As part of that, okay, let's move on it. As part of that, I'll select it. Okay. The high level languages or came to the picture. During 1950s to 60s, to simplify the software development, the high-level programmings were introduced in the name of Fortran, COBOL, and Algol, as well as Pascal. Okay, these are the high-level languages introduced during that period. Okay, so once these languages are came, the important question again arises: if computers understand only binary, how can they execute high-level language programs? There where an important concept compiler plays a vital role. The compiler translates high-level language code into the machine-level language. You can see this. There is a high-level language written in the natural language by the human readable code, which is converted into the machine code as ones and zeros through the component which is called compiler. Because of this compiler, Programmers could focus on solving the business problem instead of writing the binary instruction like this. The programmer become easier and faster and more productive. However, there is another challenges appear when the software system is too big. Okay, organizing thousands lines of code becomes increasingly difficult because the entire code is written in a single segment, right? So let's explore the further why the procedure oriented programming came up. Okay, during the 1970s, you can see Dennis Rich introduced the programming language in the name of C programming at the Bell Labs. Okay, so what are the additional benefits we have received in this particular language? Let's see that. C programming one of the most influential language because it introduced the concept called procedure oriented programming. Here you need to understand what is that procedure, right? Okay. Instead of thinking about the real world object, the programmers think about the task. A larger problem is divided into multiple functions. You can see the functions like here, right? Void, add. Like this functions, we are going to divide it, and each function performs a specific operation independently. For small and medium sized applications, procedure oriented programming worked well. It improved the code organization, structure, and it allowed you to reuse the functions. However, as industry stated, building enterprise applications such as banking system, airline reservation system, ERP solutions, and hospital management softwares, new problems like any other things, they are following lot of limit. They are following with lot of limitations. Okay, so although the procedure-oriented programming was significant improvement, it has several limitations. The major issue that we need to discuss is called its data security. Okay, so where it is actually data centric, where the data are declared or given in the global scope aspects. Any number of functions can able to access that particular data where the security breach can be possible. But the procedure-oriented programming focused only on these functions, making the system difficult to represent naturally. As projects grow larger, maintaining the code become increasingly difficult. Okay, and large software system also require better maintainability, scalability, security, and code reusability. These all are the difficult to handle it in the procedure-oriented programming. This is the case where there is an opportunity for object-oriented programming to lead the industry. Okay, so you can see this. What do you mean by object-oriented programming that you want to see now to clearly understand the differences on procedure-oriented programming? Instead of organizing the data as a global one, okay, now we are going to make the programming as object-centric. Okay, and the entire programming will belong to the concept which is called object. Usually the object have two properties. One is attribute, the another one is behavior. Okay, for example, you can see this. There is an object which is called mobile. The mobile may have the properties about the name of the brand and the price of the mobile, and the functionality about that mobile is it can able to show the display. No, so these are the things could be recognized as an data as an attribute and behavior as a method. Okay, for example, like uh, procedural oriented programming, instead of creating the independent function, we are creating the object. Okay, we're creating the object here, right? So that particular object can have data and the behavior. These principles make the software more secure, reusable, and maintainable. Okay, so how it can be secured? The particular class member and member function can be accessible only to this particular object. Rest of the person are not allowed to access it. This is why the modern enterprises are developed by many companies like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Oracle, SAP, and Infosys primarily use the object-oriented programming, right? In that aspects, I hope that you were able to understood why the object-oriented programming is needed with respect to the existing procedural-oriented programming. Okay. Now, in the next video, I will explain that particular things in a programmatical way after this conceptual explorations. Let's follow the RKodeAcademy for further updates and understand the particular concept in the programmatical way. Thank you.